Hey there and welcome back to our channel. On this channel, we talk about borderline personality disorder and dissociative identity disorder. My name is Angel and today we are going to focus on DID. We figured we'd do a little bit of a system update just because some things have changed since the last time we did an update. So the first thing we wanted to update on is that last time we did one of these, Shell was just coming out of a depressive episode. She is doing a lot better now. And yeah, she's able to function. She's able to enjoy things. Life is a little boring right now, but other than that, things are okay. So we're glad that she was able to turn that around. Our summer went surprisingly well. We did not get hit with the depression that we had last summer. And we were able to keep busier. Last summer, we didn't really have a lot of people to hang out with. And this summer, we were able to do a little bit more planning with friends and family to try to keep busy over the summer. But a lot of the time was spent by ourselves, and we were really learning to be alone. More specifically, Shell was learning to be alone because one of the things that comes with BPD is almost this fear of loneliness that we think is tied to both the fears of abandonment and the feeling of emptiness, because when you don't have anything to distract you from the emptiness, it can be really overwhelming. And so she had the opportunity to learn to sit with that and try to figure out what can help fill her up. We definitely planned to do more videos over the summer than we did. We got hit with some really bad chronic fatigue. I don't know that we have chronic fatigue syndrome, but we definitely have chronic fatigue symptoms. And that can make it really difficult to get things done. For example, just doing the dishes, that might be the only thing that we can accomplish that day. So sometimes filming can be difficult if we're particularly tired. Also, if we are rapid switching, which happened a lot over the past few months, then we can't really sit and film because we can't even get a coherent sentence out because we're switching so quickly. We've also been very dissociated, which can make it difficult to try to script out videos and figure out topics and things. But yeah, we've been able to learn more about the system the past couple of months. The alters that we discussed last update, we still don't know who they are. We still don't know what they do, why they're here. If they've fronted since then, we don't necessarily know, because since we do a lot of things at home by ourselves, we're not really able to know if we're not remembering something unless somebody asks us. For example, the way that we found out originally was we had a therapy appointment, and Shell realized during the appointment that she couldn't remember the evening before, and none of us could remember the evening before. So that's still going on. Possibly related, we had a evening where some alters introduced themselves, kind of. I don't think they actually ever mentioned their names, but presented themselves to one of our friends. And these were all alters that he had never met before and that we don't know anything about, and we have no memory of that evening. So it's very possible that the alters that were present during that time are part of that same group that we just don't have any communication with. We've also been growing, not in that we're trying to create more alters or anything like that. It's just we are discovering more about the system. And so last time we had the split with Victoria and Nona, They are still present and functioning. We've come to realize that there's 2 other alters that at this point we're not sure if they thought they were shell and are only now realizing that they're separate, or if they're recent splits. And we discussed this with our therapist, and neither one of them seem to have a whole lot of long-term memory. So that is kind of pointing to more recent splits, which I'm not sure what that says about the stability of our brain right now. I thought we were doing okay, but October is a really triggering month for us. There's a lot of trauma anniversaries in this month. So that may have something to do with it. But overall, we've been doing really well. We've been able to accomplish a few things that we'd been putting off for a couple of years. Having Nona around, she doesn't have strong emotions. She doesn't feel things very deeply. And so when the body gets too emotional, usually shell gets too emotional or triggered, then Nona can come out and kind of calm the body down. And that has been really helpful for the system. We had a caretaker. Mary was able to help somewhat, and E is a soother. And she's also able to help, but neither one of them really fronts. They're more internal helpers, or they'll be co-conscious or co-fronting. But neither of them ever really fully fronts for a very long time. Once in a while, Mary will front for maybe like an hour, but her job really is more internal, and having Nona has been really helpful to have an alter fronting who just isn't going to be emotionally triggered. Going forward, we are still planning to make videos. We did have a little bit of a social media burnout like a month ago. I think we retired one because the type of posts that we do require research, and we do work full time, and we're a single mother, so doing research in your free time isn't always the most exciting thing to do, and it is tiring. And also, I think we were kind of burned out on some of the drama that was going on in social media. It feels like every day there's a different drama, and it gets tiresome. But we are back to posting on our Instagram. We just probably are going to take it a little more slowly. We were trying to post every day or every other day, and at this point we'll post when we can, because we want to make sure the stuff that we put out is accurate, and so we want to make sure we are able to do the research that we need to do. I think we're also going to turn our focus and make it a little bit more about our experience as a system, rather than just the informational stuff about DID, and really talking about how it affects us and our life. And that's going to be the same thing for this channel, is really looking at how we experience the world as a system and how different things affect us as a system. I know we want to look into talking about our bipolar disorder and our ADHD and how that affects the system, because it does affect system members differently. We will be continuing the series on BPD traits. It's just going to take us a bit, so be patient with us because it does require a lot of research, and Shell's the one that does most of the BPD stuff. And as I've explained, things are tiring, it's exhausting, and we're already exhausted, so she does it when she's able to. In the meantime, if there are any topics that you would like to hear us discuss, or you have any questions you'd like us to do a video about, let us know in the comments. You can also reach out to us on Instagram. Who's ever editing this video can put our Instagram handle right here. And you feel free to DM us on Instagram or comment on any of our posts with questions that you might have. In the meantime, take care and stay well. Bye. But they don't front on their own, and also well, E isn't connected to anything really. She's kind of spacey. Oh, sorry. Stay long.